on Worcester News tonight, Worcester City Councilors vote in support of the PawSox project, how Canal District businesses are reacting. Plus, a crash shutting down Route 146 this week puts spotlight on the effort to make the stretch of highway in Millbury more safe. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Brittany Schaefer. Wednesday night, Worcester City Councilors voted 9-1 in favor of the Pawtucket Red Sox ballpark project. The city will be celebrating the team with a block party this coming Monday. City Common will host former Red Sox players, current PawSox players, and have food trucks. Our Rosalind Flaherty spoke to the Canal District community tonight. She has their reaction. Rosalind?
Brittany, many are excited about the block party, saying it's a way to welcome the team and get the fan base. Thousands are expected to fill these streets in the Canal District as the city and the Pawtucket Red Sox celebrate the team's move to Worcester.
Just to say thank you and get the fan base out there.
The City Council voted 9-1 Tuesday, approving the $240 million deal. Guy Glotis owns the ballot box in Kelly Square and says he couldn't be more excited.
This is really going to be a huge economic benefactor, not just for the Canal District, but really for Worcester.
Alan Fletcher lives in Kelly Square and is building a market and apartment units. He says although he is also excited for the team to come, he still has concerns about the redevelopment of the area.
I simply want to be involved in it and make sure that the redesign doesn't bypass the Canal District.
Meanwhile, the celebration on September 17th will start at City Hall and continue to the Water Street area for a block party. The city says there will also be appearances by legends of the Boston Red Sox and players from the PawSox.
People are going to have their best dishes out. There's going to be appetizers and bands and musics and DJ, and Water Street's going to be shut off.
Mayor Joe Petty says the approval was a long time coming and can't wait for the project to get started.
It's going to bring Worcester to a new level.
Now again, the celebration starts at 5 on the Common, then the block party will be from 6 to 10 in the Canal District. Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
President Donald Trump receiving some backlash after a tweet about Puerto Rico. In the tweet, he claims 3,000 Americans did not die in the aftermath of Hurricane Maria. He says, quote, "When I left the island after the storm had hit, they had anywhere from 6 to 18 deaths." In Worcester, both Yvette Almeida and Iris Delgado are from Puerto Rico and say Trump's comments are offensive. Almeida says most of her family lives in Puerto Rico and the conditions are horrible.
I did have family live right in the middle of the mountains, so they are the one that most suffer in terms of losing part of their houses and things like that. So reading this tweet, I still can't believe it that it's coming from a president of the United States.
You look at the hurricane that's coming now for, South Carolina. Is he going to be, looking at these numbers the same way that he's looking at the Caribbean? He's ridiculous.
Trump says his administration handled the devastation in Puerto Rico correctly, stating earlier this week their response was a major success. A Worcester man is indicted on a murder charge Thursday in the killing of his mother last December. According to the Worcester County District Attorney's Office, 27-year-old John Madulka was charged with the murder and the death of his mother, Ellen. Madulka was previously committed to the Bridgewater State Hospital for a psychiatric evaluation. A forensic psychologist says it appears Madulka was not taking his medication at the time of the killing. His case now moves to Superior Court. 2 Worcester men are charged with sexually abusing 2 17-year-old girls. According to the DA's office, 39-year-old Richard Saya is charged with trafficking a person for sexual servitude, and 43-year-old Gennaro Cabeza is charged with rape. Both men are facing several other charges. The warrants for the 2 men were obtained by the State Police High-Risk Victim Unit following a lengthy investigation. No charges will be issued in a fatal bike crash in Worcester. 4-year-old Josiah Rivera was killed in August when he was struck by a vehicle while riding his bicycle in Plumley Village. His family told Worcester News Tonight in August it was an accident and the family friend who hit him did not see him. Worcester police say after a complete investigation, charges will not be filed. A multi-car crash in Millbury reminds residents how dangerous a stretch of Route 146 can be. The town says they hope construction will fix and help any of the concerns. Our Chandler Walsh explains.
Cars zip by on 146 in Millbury.
Both sides coming over the bridge where it goes to 2 lanes there. People just they speed up instead of slowing down.
Tony Sauter drives the highway often. He says he thinks the road is safe, but can be tricky where lanes narrow due to construction by exit 8.
I think people get a little nervous and sometimes make some bad decisions in that area.
Wednesday, multiple vehicles, including a tractor trailer, were involved in an accident by the construction.
We always expected someday we were going to have something like this. It just took a lot longer than we expected.
Millbury Fire Chief Richard Hamilton says 2 people were extricated, but all are expected to be okay. He says a fuel leak from the tractor trailer posed extra hazards when responding.
One of these saddle tanks on the tractor trailer split open. Initially we thought maybe 50 gallons of fuel was leaking out. We're looking at maybe more like 100 to 150 now.
Chief Hamilton says 146 wasn't built to handle the amount of traffic it receives. He says it's part of the reason for the construction, and while it's going on, he advises drivers to slow down.
No matter what they tell you, when you have narrower lanes, things always get dangerous, and one little move in one person's part.
The state project is set to be complete in 2020. Millbury Town Manager David Marciello says the road and rotaries will be safer and have better signage.
It's going to be a very nice area of the town, whereas before it was an old bridge that was falling apart.
Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.
The Latino History Project of Worcester hosting a discussion on education reform in the city. The event was held at the Worcester Historical Museum. The 3 panelists discussed the need for bilingual education in Worcester public schools. Committee member Hilda Ramirez says 42% of students in the schools are Latino. She says bilingual courses would help those students maintain their culture while also accessing English culture.
The discussion is a little heated because there's also have been some times when that isn't happening, which today, the current context right now, we don't believe that we're moving forward. We believe that there's still challenges, and so this is why we're having this discussion.
Tonight's meeting is part of a series of events between the Latino History Project and the Historical Museum. Next Thursday, there will be a discussion on the rights of Great Brook Valley starting at 6 p.m. Mass Inc. and the Worcester Regional Research Bureau share a report Thursday highlighting the opportunity for infill development around Union Station. The year-long research study looked at gateway cities across Massachusetts on the commuter rail lines. Their goal is to improve ridership by rethinking the cost of riding from Worcester to Boston and talking about adding more service throughout the day.
The state's really thinking hard about how we get better use of commuter rail to reduce congestion on the roads, to get more economic development in urban centers around the state, to spread the wealth from Boston. And you know, if you look around the area, you can clearly see there's a lot of opportunity for thousands of more people to live and work here.
Mass Inc. says they encourage people to raise their voices because these decisions could be beneficial to them. Worcester Polytechnic Institute formally opening the doors to its new Foisie Innovation Studio and Messenger Hall Thursday. The $49 million project is home to residential housing and classrooms. Dozens were in attendance for the ribbon cutting and then toured the building. President Lori Leshin says it's an academic building open to all majors and it provides learning opportunities for everyone.
It's really owned by the students. They are going to get to figure out how to leverage this space to advance student projects that cross-cut boundaries, that make impact in real communities around the world. They've got 3D printers galore in there to be able to take the ideas out of their minds and build them and put them into action. So all kinds of ways to elevate WPI's impact in the world.
We're also able to get a bunch of new tools as well with the new space. So we're able to upgrade the labs that we're doing for 2 of the classes that are happening in this space. So it's all new technology that our students get to use, and we're really excited to see how it goes for them.
The building is named after the late Robert Foisie. The school says he was their most generous individual donor.